I've harvested more than 10 kilograms of ripe, red tomatoes from a garden measuring less than 10 square meters. What surprised me even more was that I didn't have to spend much time caring for them each day. In today's video, I'll share a few simple yet highly effective methods that can help you grow a lush, productive tomato garden, even in a very small space. First, choose a healthy tomato to use as your seed source. It's best to select a medium-sized tomato that is fully ripe with a bright, even red color. Avoid any fruit that is bruised, rotten, or shows signs of mold, as healthy tomatoes produce stronger seeds with a higher germination rate. Now, I'll slice the tomato into thin rounds. I'll do the same with the banana, cutting it into thin slices before placing them in the prepared pot of soil. Bananas are rich in potassium and natural nutrients, helping create a favorable environment for tomato seeds to germinate more quickly and grow into stronger, healthier seedlings. Next, place the tomato slices on top, then cover them with soil. Finally, water the soil lightly to keep it evenly moist. In less than 10 days, the tomato seedlings had already sprouted all at once. They grew vigorously, with deep green leaves and strong, sturdy stems. Now, I'm going to prepare the growing medium for planting. I'll fill these large grow bags with all of the prepared soil. The soil has already been mixed with rice husk ash and coconut coir, making it loose, well aerated, and able to drain excess water easily after watering. Next, I'll sew each bag closed and arrange them in a long row. I use a round plastic lid about 10 centimeters in diameter and place it on top of each bag to mark the planting spots. For each bag, I mark 3 planting holes, spacing them about 15 centimeters apart. Once the spots are marked, I use a knife to cut out the openings where the tomato seedlings will be planted. The final step is simply planting the tomato seedlings. Make sure to gently press the soil around the base of each plant. Avoid compacting it too tightly, as young roots are easily damaged. Water the soil to keep it evenly moist, helping the roots adapt more quickly to their new growing environment. And don't forget to make a few drainage holes in the bottom of each grow bag. If you water too much or after a heavy rain, excess water can collect inside the bag. Without proper drainage, the roots can become waterlogged and eventually rot. After 20 days, the tomato plants had grown significantly taller. At this stage, it's time to build a bamboo trellis to support the stems. I'm using dried bamboo poles to build a trellis about 50 centimeters tall. Bamboo is naturally strong and flexible, allowing it to withstand both sun and rain for a long time. Once the tomato season is over, the same trellis can be reused for the next crop. Next, I attach horizontal bamboo poles across the top and tie the tomato branches to them for support. With just a few simple steps, I've built a sturdy tomato trellis that's ready to support the growing plants. After 30 days, the tomato plants had grown taller than the trellis, and the first flowers had begun to appear. At this stage, I use soft garden ties to secure the main stem and branches to the trellis, helping support the plants as they continue to grow. This simple step offers two major benefits that many people don't know about. First, tying the branches to the trellis helps limit excessive upward growth, allowing the plant to direct more of its energy toward developing side branches, flowers, and eventually fruit. Second, spreading the stems evenly across the trellis distributes the plant's weight more effectively, reducing stress on the main stem and helping prevent it from bending or breaking throughout the growing season. Next, I'll cut a small opening near the top of each grow bag and place a few thin banana slices inside. As I mentioned earlier in the video, bananas are especially beneficial during the plant's growth and flowering stages. I'll also add a small amount of crushed eggshells around the base of each tomato plant. In addition to supplying extra calcium, eggshells help improve the soil environment, supporting healthier and more stable plant growth. After 50 days, the tomato vines had nearly covered the entire trellis. The main stems had grown thicker and stronger thanks to the nutrients supplied during the previous stage. What stood out most was that the plants had begun producing numerous flower clusters, evenly distributed throughout the bamboo trellis. Just 2 months later, I came back to find the first young tomatoes beginning to form on the plants. Each plant had set an impressive number of fruits, with dense clusters developing all along the branches. The young tomatoes were growing evenly, plump and round, while still displaying the vibrant green color typical of this early stage. At last, it's harvest day. Less than 3 months ago, everything started with a single tomato. I sowed the seeds, built the trellis, and watched the plants grow day by day. Now, the tomato plants in my garden are covered with ripe, red fruit, filling every branch across the trellis. Each plant is heavily loaded with tomatoes, from small clusters to large, plump fruits. Many of them have developed evenly, reaching an impressive size with a beautiful, bright red color. By following these simple techniques, the plants have grown vigorously, remained free of pests and diseases, and produced an exceptionally abundant harvest. Now, I'm going to harvest all of the ripe red tomatoes. This is a very important stage. If you harvest too early, the tomatoes won't have developed their full flavor and will still be quite firm. But if you harvest too late, the fruit can become overly soft and turn a deeper shade of red because the plant continues supplying nutrients to keep the fruit on the vine. When too much energy is spent on ripening mature fruit, the plant has fewer nutrients available for developing young fruit, causing it to gradually weaken within just a few days. To keep your tomatoes fresh for as long as possible, the first thing you shouldn't do is wash them before storing. Leaving the natural dry skin intact helps reduce moisture buildup and lowers the risk of mold. Store the tomatoes stem side down to minimize moisture loss and slow the ripening process. Keep them in a cool, dry, well-ventilated place away from direct sunlight to maintain their freshness for longer. If the tomatoes are fully ripe, you can store them in the refrigerator to slow down the ripening process. Those are some of the most practical and effective tips I've learned for growing healthy tomato plants. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.